All right, everyone, welcome back to our latest episode of Behind the Blueprints, featuring myself, Bill Gnagey, who you've grown to know and love over the last two episodes. Today, we have a surprise for you. We're introducing one of our newer senior level employees, Kelly Ormsby, who I'm sorry. We talked about this before air, and I have still butchered it.
No, you haven't.
Oh, I got it.
You said it right.
Ormsby.
Yeah,
I
just
pronunciated it
there's
strong.
there's a vowel at either end and
Yeah.
all consonants in the middle, and you just crash through it.
Ormsby.
Yeah.
Kelly Ormsby. So Kelly, welcome. It's exciting. She listened to the first two episodes, which not everyone has because they haven't been released to the public yet.
Still here.
I know. Well, yes, we had to tell her to stop listening to them. She had listened to them so many times prior to this. Well, welcome back, everyone. Wanted to give everybody a very exciting update. Anyone who listened to episode 2 would know that our star permit expediter extraordinaire, Don Matthews, was heading out into the wilderness for what we were not sure was going to be or not be his last I don't know, semblance of life. That was really strong. Edit that out. We were not sure he was going to make it at the end of week's episode. I have a great news. He has survived. There was a period of time where he was off cell phone service, although we did get very slowly updated and uploaded images of a tent, some rocking chairs, some looks like he had purchased some sort of fan device to keep his tent cool. And we did, in fact, have him back and responding to permit related emails early Monday morning. So Don made it. Everyone, you can call us for your permit expediting needs. He's still around. So Kelly comes to us. Well, Kelly comes to us from the small conference room right now, but she is often working in our Northern Virginia office. For those of you who don't know or have been living under a rock for the last 2 years, Arium now has a brick and mortar Northern Virginia office. So coming to Arium, where were we before we came to Arium? You don't have to name names, but does in the design world, you were in the architectural field for all 20 of your years in business, right?
Yeah, no, I started out down in Hampton Roads.
Okay.
Started out doing schools and local government mostly. Then 2007 happened.
Right.
And I moved up here to do government work. So I was doing
And
embassies.
it's the place to be.
Yeah, well, it was. And I started doing U.S. embassies,
Okay.
and then wanted to not do as much government, switched to doing multifamily, realized I hated that,
Yeah.
and went back to government. So, and a bit more office design. And then after that, just continued office design type work.
Yeah.
Every project there, you want something that makes it fun. So I like when the client's excited about it or when they don't know what's going on, when they do know what's going on and you can just make it go smoothly for them. And that's the job.
Has it helped having integrated AE? I mean,
I have learned so much about the MEP side being here. And
and
it,
you're
it
right on
does
like Engineers Row up there, right?
yeah, when I sit here, I
Yeah.
am
Oh, right.
surrounded.
In the Arium office, she's squished. She's right next to the squad of
I sit
engineers.
next to an architect, our director of permitting, uh,
Don
three
Matthews.
electrical engineers, and then on the other side of the partition, two mechanical
Yep.
engineers.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm surrounded.
Yeah. That's the Arium business model. We like to put people amongst all of the trades that they're not used to working with. I was just talking about something about projecting voices. Yes. So Kelly and I both have very projecting voices. So it's good. So we do a lot of triggering of MEP engineers, I would say.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure that there are the occasional, why is she emailing me again? Will she just not go away?
Right.
But that these things happen.
Yeah. But at least they know we're coming. They can hear us coming. So
Well, I've been told I have a distinct footstep. Mary
I do
has
too.
has
I have
told
like
me
a
that she can
shuffle
hear me
walk.
when I'm coming up and down the
It's
stairs.
like a shuffle walk of like elder sadness, I think. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what it is now, but Don always says he can tell when I'm coming. I think it's just that defeated like midlife parent, I guess is my excuse.
I couldn't, I don't have any.
Kelly does not have kids.
I
You
do
have
not have
cats.
kids. I have a cat.
A cat.
Yes.
One singular cat.
One singular cat.
Is it a cool cat?
He is very mouthy.
Okay.
His name is Dr. Kitty.
Dr. Kitty.
Yes, which the vet loved. Uh,
Dr. Kitty's good. It has a little bit of an evil vibe to it.
it does, and he
Dr. Kitty.
scratched on my hand from working out yesterday because I got too close to the cat.
The cat at my daughter's daycare is awesome.
Okay.
His name is Hunter. He was
Okay.
a stray. I do not know the model. I don't know what model he is.
It's standard issue cat.
Standard issue cat. I think it's just because he thinks he's a dog cat.
Yeah.
So like when I come to the door, he like comes up and he's like, "Pet me."
Uh-huh.
Probably Dr. Kitty is in the corner of the room, like, "I will murder you."
He's
And
not.
he's not okay.
Oh, I walk in the door. I immediately get yelled at because I am not currently feeding him. I'm taking off my shoes.
Okay.
And then when I finally do get to feeding him, it's not fast enough. And then he wants pets afterwards.
Okay. So he seems friendly.
Yeah, he's friendly.
Okay.
He's a snuggler.
Some cats are like, "I love you, but I also want to find a way to dispose of your body." And you just are not sure which cat you're going to get. Dogs are just dogs.
That's
Dogs,
all.
my experience with dogs is most dogs are like, "Do you have a treat? Are you going to feed me? Why are you not loving me 99% of your existence?"
Yeah, some dogs
Like,
want to be so close they want to be inside your
I
skin.
have one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a dog that is like, I am his human emotional support human.
Yeah.
In the wild, Jupiter would last exactly 3 hours. Like, I don't even know that he would make it 3 hours. It would be like, "Oh God, wind. Oh God, rain. Where can I hide next to a human?"
Yeah.
My other dog would be okay. But how about Dr. Kitty? Do you think Dr. Kitty would be okay? Or is Dr. Kitty a house
He
cat?
is a house cat.
Gotcha.
He has escaped once when I was cat sitting, and the neighbor cat, the cat I was sitting, opened the screen door, and I had
As cats do when they go to murder you, so they can operate doors.
yeah. No, Doc walked out on the porch,
Ooh, we
looked around.
call him
We
Doc.
call him Doc. Dr. Kitty has too many syllables. He walked out on the porch and looked around like, huh, another big room. He's orange, so he's not terribly bright.
Gotcha. I didn't know that. I mean, is that a thing with
That's the
orange
thing with
cats?
orange cats, yeah.
I just immediately associate it with Garfield.
I mean, that's also not incorrect. He wants to eat all the time.
Right. That's my only. I have very limited cat knowledge. I know we're off topic.
Oh,
We're talking
this is
about
the episode
pets.
about cats. It's
This is
fine.
the episode about cats. We can actually call the episode about cats. That'll be good. So Northern Virginia. Are you a Northern Virginia-ite? Is that a term? Are you a Northern Virginia-er?
I don't know that either of those is a term.
I just well, what if I'm onto something? I don't know. What do you
Maybe.
a Nova? No, I know Nova is thrown out there all the time, but
Yeah.
what do you consider yourself? Are you from Northern Virginia or are you a transplant?
Oh, I'm a transplant. I'm a
Gotcha.
military brat, so I lived in multiple areas before.
Gotcha. And have you always worked in Northern Virginia?
First 2 years of my career were in Hampton Roads down in Newport News.
You already told me that,
I
so
did
it's
already tell you.
that was terrible on my part.
It's fine.
But working in Northern Virginia after that,
Very big shift.
shit,
Granted, I was
less boats.
you joke, but actually, yeah, my first boss was obsessed with this hobby cat. So or hobie cat, however you say it, it's a little boat.
I don't know what I assumed it was a
Oh,
cat.
he talked
So
about it. No, it's no, he talked about it all
we've
the
been
time.
talking about cats. I just assumed you were talking about some sort of cat that could swim or was shaped like a boat or something.
Oh, it was yeah, it's type of catamaran, I think. No, I was only 2 years out of school down there, so very
Right.
different level of work experience anyways. Didn't interact with
Or was school?
Virginia Tech.
Okay. Of course. Why wouldn't you have gone to Virginia Tech like every other person that I work with?
Not all of us went to Virginia Tech, but a
Like
few of us.
it's like 6 out of 10.
Yeah, no. Well, we have a Hokies have a strong presence here in the area.
I know. I know.
Um, so yeah, no, I after school at Hampton Roads and then came up here because of the recession. So, but it is it is a slightly different vibe. I a lot it feels faster up
Yeah.
here than it did, but again, I was
Sure.
2 years out of school and you know so little coming out of school that you don't realize you don't know.
That is accurate.
Yes.
That is accurate. If I could go back and tell 25-year-old, 24-year-old Bill what the future held. Whew,
Oh yeah, same.
yeah. I mean, a lot of window details were being drawn back there. A lot of punch list walkthroughs of job sites,
Yep. No,
a lot of surveying.
yep. A lot of door and window
Door and
details.
window details.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always thought it was fun that I could explain what a weep was. And
Yeah,
I
all my friends at one point were
try
very
to
well aware. It's like
try to impress
flip a
everyone.
chair over.
Try to impress people on the street. But oh, you're an architect? Let me tell you, I could look at those weeps. Do you see the weep holes underneath the
Yeah.
on that fun brick white? Yeah, nobody cares about that stuff. But made you seem fancy.
Yeah, it does. It sounds fancy and it seems fancy like you know something,
Yeah,
but
because everyone has like the George Costanza vision of what an architect is.
I have never watched Seinfeld.
Oh my God. Well, folks,
And
don't get
that
don't
was Kelly's last day as a
don't get comfortable working with Kelly Ormsby.
Ugh,
Okay, well, see your way out, please.
okay. I
Um,
can't. I have to climb over the table.
no, all right. So that's great. So where you're in Alexandria, right?
I live in Alexandria and actually in the city, not in
Like really in like can you see the George Washington Monument, the Masonic
you mean
Temple?
Temple?
Yeah,
We are in a condo community behind the fancy house community.
gotcha.
Um, I can walk to it in about 10, 15
The
minutes.
Masonic
Yeah,
Temple.
the Masonic Temple.
Fun Bill nerd history fact. If you draw a straight line from the Washington Monument to the Masonic Temple, it is in perfect alignment with Mount Vernon,
I would
which
be
was George.
shocked to find out that wasn't purposeful.
Oh, 100% purposeful. Done on purpose.
Also, it's a real we walked through there this weekend, and if you stand there by the Masonic Temple or
Hmm.
whatever it is, you can see all of Alexandria out to the water, which is pretty cool. It's a cool view.
It is
So
very neat. Well, that's cool. So yeah, I actually love Alexandria. Old Town Alexandria
mm,
is a favorite place to go.
that's why we've lived there
And
for
it's
10 years,
fairly
right?
convenient on and off. You can get on and off to the bridge and
Hmm.
over into Maryland super easy.
Yeah,
So
no,
living in Maryland, hey, let's go do something. It's almost more convenient to do that than it is to go down into DC because you're just popping off 295
mm,
right there.
yeah, no, with where we are, we can I it's pretty easy to come north to either side of the city into Maryland
Yep.
or into DC.
Which is great when Kelly is visiting job sites for various clients in Northern Virginia.
I end up doing a lot of popping over to other people's job sites because it's a faster for me to get there than for them to get there.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so
I mean, this has been the advantage of the Northern Virginia office in general, and
it really has.
having Kelly kind of run it has been we've been able to that 9 a.m. meeting nobody wants to attend in downtown Ballston or
Or
Falls Church.
yeah, or that survey out in Reston that's going to be a hike for anybody else to get to.
Right.
Yeah.
So what are we seeing in Northern Virginia now? I mean, are you feeling the market's any different than when you do the, Maryland sort of properties or projects?
I feel like they're very similar. The Maryland projects tend to that I work on tend to either be large clients with multiple spaces and multiple buildings or smaller one-off clients that we're working more for the landlord. The clients in Northern Virginia tend to be bigger spaces. It's definitely still struggling with the Class B and C buildings in the area, but
Yeah,
that's something that's
that's the
market
market in
wide.
general. Yep.
Yeah, and a lot of those I mean we call them Class B and C. A lot of those buildings are starting to have been dwindling downward for a while, anyways. So
Yep. I have cheated and asked Kelly for some tidbits and facts about Kelly's life. Some of these are very interesting. She is an avid kayaker.
yeah,
Like, where are we kayaking?
usually
Potomac River?
yeah, the Potomac River. Usually go
Okay.
out near the Key Bridge.
I also see that you have some very eclectic artistic talents.
I
You
decor.
are a sculptor that does not use a sculpting wheel. That's fun.
I did a lot of hand building for a while.
Not sure what that term means.
Oh, it's a with clay you either hand well there's you can cast, which uses slip and it's liquid clay, or you can use the potter's wheel. And then hand building is just
Building with
you're
your
building
hand.
with your hands.
Is a
And
kiln always involved?
with ceramic clay or porcelain clay, yes, to my knowledge.
Kilns were always the best part of art class. Can we agree with that? That when you would make pottery in art class, did you ever make pottery in art class?
I did not. My
Oh
mom had
my.
a kiln in the house when I was
Well,
growing up.
well, that's very fancy. one more on my list.
Calligraphy, crochet,
Oh,
and I said something
well,
else.
then clearly more than one. Yeah, so calligraphies. I don't have the patience for calligraphy. You have to have a very steady hand.
I enjoy calligraphy. I just ran out of things that I felt like writing, so I gave up on it.
That is,
That's a problem.
it just, that was it.
That's it. I was like,
Fiend. She was just done. There was one day she was writing script and then it was just a period and we were done.
yeah.
Very exciting. Well,
That's why I dabble, is I get into a thing and then I abandon it.
Kelly, tell me some projects that you've worked on. Actually, you don't need to give specific examples and call out clients, but I, you know, do you enjoy kind of the creative aspect of taking an unsolvable problem and solving it? I mean, that seems to be a lot of what we do in general. Help us, we don't know how to make this
Hmm.
square peg fit into this round hole, and the trick is you just sand the peg down until it fits.
Yeah. But no, sometimes I do enjoy the problem solving. But I think one of my favorite things about architecture is that it is both
Sand the peg.
creative
Right.
and technical, and we get to marry those two sides of ourselves and make sure that and make someone else's needs a reality.
Yep.
Like I've always loved it when we used to walk clients through a space during construction, and that moment when the studs go up and they finally realize, oh my God, this is real. Like that moment on a client's face is really cool. But even then, it's like it's trying to walk a client into understanding how a space works and, oh, I need this specific type of space. Well, you don't have that much square footage or that much budget. How can we make it work? Trying to exhibit their brand in the built space.
Revit is a good tool for that.
It
I
is.
mean, it is
It,
one thing as since you do most of our Revit, studio management and work on the architectural side. I mean, do you find that it's a good tool? I mean, I've always felt seeing things three dimensionally from architecture school into the professional world is always valuable. It just used to take days to draw something in axonometric, where what was it called? SketchUp, Google
SketchUp, yeah.
SketchUp model, or showing it in Revit in three
Yeah.
dimensions is super helpful.
For something polished that you want to show to a client, something
Nah, not
three
that
something
as
well,
much,
and it
but
does it like even just a quick 3D view in Revit to show the mass of the shape of the
oh,
space. It's a lot cleaner than if you're having a on the fly conversation with a client and you pull out a I don't know, you had trace on you, or you pull out a piece of paper and you just sketch something out. I mean, that's something that we learn to do anyways. It is, I think, a little bit of a lost skill. I still love using my trace paper.
what would you want these clients to know when they're starting a project with you? I mean, like what are the checkbox items that you're like, man, I really wish this person would have thought of this before diving into space planning or a programming meeting?
So before programming, if you've already got a space and you're in programming, then you're a little behind the game. If you don't have a space yet and you're looking at multiple spaces, that's the perfect time to do programming.
Somebody will be looking at three spaces. No one will commit to diving into a program quite yet.
Hmm.
And that's when you end up with the square peg
Yes.
because someone says, oh, the space looked like there could easily be 12 offices in it. And then you get it on a piece of paper and you're like, yeah, you can fit seven.
Yeah. Which happens unfortunately a lot when when we haven't been involved during like if
You
we're
hear that, kids? Involve the architect
yeah,
early.
involve the architect early, and it doesn't have to be right when you're looking at spaces, but it like make sure you're understanding exactly what you need. If you don't know what you need when you're picking a space or you're trying
Yep.
to guesstimate on square footage, you you're going to find issues, and you're going to find that there may be parts of your program that don't fit in the space anymore or don't fit the way you hope they would. And each space is not going to work with the same square footage the way you thought
I
it would.
think that comment is fair too for MEP as well.
It
I
is.
think one thing Arium can provide you on the front end, if you're out there looking at a space or if you're a broker that's showing somebody a space, make a 5 minute phone call to Kelly or Bill or Brian or somebody and just say, hey, we're looking at this space that was built in 1972. The owner says the HVAC system works great. They replaced it in 1990. Are we good
Mhm.
to sign a lease as is?
And then, I mean, I've been at other architecture firms that were just architecture, and I've been here at Arium AE, and like having the E side of us as well as the A side of us is that we get to ask those questions early.
Greg, is it 800 amps or is it 1200 amps?
Yes.
And then he asks me really complicated question
Or
follow-ups like which voltage is it, Bill?
yep.
And then I say, I don't know, Greg. That's why you're the engineer. You
Yep.
tell me what voltage you need.
My client says they need this many servers. Do I have enough space for panels too? Are you going to have to add some?
Yes, panel space, the black sheep of questions during
Yes.
programming.
But it's an important question, and we can we because we do engineering as well as architecture, we ask that question early. And that's really important with space like secure spaces where you need to have those extra spaces and you need to know where you put it. And so we can incorporate them and then, working with the client and making sure that their AO also, or their accrediting officer for a secure space is involved in getting their responses on what they need. All of that helps.
That is a
So,
great point and that is a great lead in to our work in secure space.
yep, do quite a bit of that these days.
Kelly's doing a lot of this. Kelly came from Skiff, got out of Skiff, and now is deep back into the Northern Virginia. You almost don't have a choice.
Well, I did a lot in DC
Or DC
as
for that
well.
matter.
So yes, a
A
lot of
lot of Skiff
just
spaces.
skips. And since I did government for 12 of my 15 years before
Yeah.
at one point, then yeah, it's a lot.
What I'm seeing too on the secure side is you see a lot of, when we talk about these Class B and C buildings, somebody will take a space or be sold a space on the fact that it has a skiff,
Hmm.
quote unquote, and they get into the lease where they're thinking they're getting a secured space because it exists
Hmm.
and not consulting their design professional
Or their AO.
or their AO and realizing that their contract requirements are not
Right.
satisfied by whatever they think they're getting. And it's even in stuff that's like not old.
Yeah.
Hey, it was they just, the previous contractor had this space and it was only 5 years ago that they did this skiff. And, I think that's another thing that would be great to be involved in early to
Yeah.
say, hey, let's talk about what you've got because you may not have what you think you have.
Well, and that's the reason why we began our conversations with clients with a lot of questions,
Yep.
because we have to ask the questions and we need the answers. Otherwise, it's very hard to design that proper space, especially in something that's highly technical like a secure space.
Right.
So, but I mean, they're always important questions, whether it's secure or not secure, whether it's a high-end space or something that someone's just
A
kind of
high-end secure space,
yeah,
which we
which does
we
and we've
we're
done
doing that.
those. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate you talking to me. This has been an eye-opening experience on kayaking
And cats.
rivers and mostly cats.
We talked a lot about cats.
We did. Now you get to go home tonight to Dr. Evil and I'm sorry, Dr. Cat,
Dr. Kitty.
Dr. Kitty. He just seems like it just I want him to be a villain.
I mean, I will show you pictures of him where he is legitimately looking like a villain.
Like I really just kind of in my head I'm seeing Dr. Kitty behind a computer screen mapping out some sort of strategy for
I did leave my PC plugged in.
embezzling a country. And what'd you say?
I did leave my PC plugged in and on at home, so
Well,
who knows what he's
well,
up
he's
to.
probably distracted by the LED lights. He's
True.
probably just
The
batting his
keyboard is
he's
all
probably
it's
batting his
just
little he's probably
exciting.
batting his little paws at the fan as it spins around.
But yeah.
Very nice. All right. Well, I don't know who's coming on the show next week, but I'm excited to have another week of chatting with everybody, and hopefully we can do this again soon.
Yeah.